over volt the floor sometime and it'll just take off. Fly away. No more fight. The tablet and pod I happen to know always says this is a funny looking Randomizer. I wonder if it changes for this one.
Yeah, Moogle pushing through pod. Tutor heading over that direction, trying to deal with a Murderdactyl.
There's a fun set of enemies there, replacing the mimics on the bowlock side, or at least normally bowlock side of pod. I guess the logic still applies, so you're supposed to have a bow, and of course we do, but...
I didn't know that the logic still applied, even though it was... You know, I guess it could still be mimics.
Yeah, I guess we found out... I mean, I don't do this a lot, but we were having a discussion on a stream yesterday that I was on. I think I was tracking something or something. I forget what I was doing. But Structural Mike was pointing out that the logic still applies because it's shuffled the enemies and said the heck with it, I guess. But the only stipulation is that any of those rooms cannot contain restricted item or weapon enemies, even if they originally did. So...
Pod Bridge having our lamp, so dark rooms won't be a problem anymore.
Yeah, it's a nice place to find a thing too. When you've got a unfortunate set of dark rooms staring you down, you find that lamp in here, you're like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, my favorite is finding lamp in dark basement. That always feels real good.
Yeah, being with the fire rod logic with the torches in there. You're having a little bit of a hang-up trying to swag his way out of the portal with the hammer dash there. Gets it. Gonna get his goodies out of Hype Cave here. Solid 6 or 7, I'd say.
Yeah, for safeties and Randomizer, sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just opening those.
Gonna dive into Skullwoods for their team.
Mm-hmm. Beer's just gonna open the back too, since he's got communicated knowledge of what the other two are. AKA nothing.
Yeah, if you're these runners, the last thing you want to see right now is flippers. That would probably break your heart.
Yeah, flippers, a flute to send you to Mire. Flute would be nice to get you around, but unfortunately it's going to open some extra stuff here and you don't want. But more than likely have to count on at least one of those things happening. You get so busy though with Randomizer, like we really can't know if any of the runners on the teams have realized their go situation, just because they're as busy as they are. I imagine at least one of them has an inkling that usually in a swamp, and swamp's one of the things you look for. If you don't have to do it, that's less you need. Mire and TR, we don't do one of those. So.
It seems like with the fast beginning that we had with items and availability of dungeons, both teams are trying to catch the other members up to what they'd already done.
Mm-hmm.
So that once they find that medallion and last sword or whatever, they can just rush the end. So they don't want to get their times too separated. But I still feel like I would send someone up to the mountain to check the TR medallion. You're going to want to know that sooner than later.
Yeah, absolutely. So these dungeons that they're doing... Seeing which ones are done here. These aren't ones that change a whole ton in go mode. I mean, you can make the argument for Skullwoods if you didn't know where the items were already. But they figure they can do those while they're down here. But if you have to go into a pendant dungeon, if one comes up, you know, I think that at that point you'll see a divergence to the mountain for a medallion check before any of that.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yulo just went to the back. knowing they probably could get to the back and potentially beat the boss. I don't think they've checked the front for their team at all yet. But that's a good point. You know, things like Vu and Thieves Town and Skull Woods, you're hoping never to come back to this part of the world again. So just mop it up now.
Yeah, you don't want to, and I know I'm real good at this, so you don't want to have a jet seed and then miss it.
Right.
Not at this level, so.
That pathway to Vanilla Helma's not fun.
Yeah, that hook shot would be real handy. Being not needed for any crystals, but...
Oh, those silvers would be real handy right now. Oof.
Yeah. And who has them? Just homemade beer right now, so...
I feel like I've seen Vitreous in this room a lot lately. And those spikes will really throw him off. If you shoot an arrow into him, into the big eye, normally, you know, his vanilla location, it'll bounce him back, and you just kind of keep him pinned against the wall. Because of the spikes, he won't bounce it back, and it could really throw your timing off if you don't know what's coming.
Yeah, this is not a fun way to deal with these little eyeballs, and I think, yeah, Mogliacci's realizing that these things are getting a little dicey. He's going to stick with it for now.
Now you've come this far. If you can finish it off, it's worth it.
There's only a couple left. It's hard for me to tell, but I guess there are those 4 in the middle that don't do anything.
Swagnet and Magic Bat.
That's how Moogle almost picked the mirror off the menu. It was scary.
I saw a match earlier today where someone mirrored out of a boss fight because of quick swap.
Yeah, this wouldn't even have been a quick swap. It would have been anxiety swap or something, but nonetheless, got the bow out, finished up the big eyeball with some regular arrows, no problem. And Vitreous down out of pod.
Yulin and Joe looks like they're finally heading over to get their hook shot.
Purple chest with some money. I think it wraps up that whole Smith chain for Swirly Coin Brewing here. I don't remember seeing anything super awesome on it.
Yeah, I don't know maybe if I missed it or the tracker gumped up, but did Duel Ninja not do the rest of Skull Woods and for the silvers? Did they just rush the boss and leave?
That's the impression I got, yeah.
Interesting.
I was kind of flipping around, and my knowledge, the knowledge I have was that he wasn't in there long enough, I don't think, to clear out the front.
Well, from a go mode perspective, it won't hurt them, but in the long term, they're going to wish they had it, I bet. Homemade beer diving into Ice Palace.
Yeah, depending on what we're still looking for by the time Mogliacci gets to Skullwoods, he may, check the front and then find him, and then we'll see if Yulo heads back or not. Yeah, so we're pretty sure they did not get the silvers because of their own tracker and their own string that we have cropped out here, but... Is that a flute? That was a flute. In Pengator Room and Ice. No Pengators, but still.
Yeah, that's...
So
right, you welcome it for the ability to travel, but you'd have been just as fine not seeing it.
Yeah, I might see a quick dip in there and, you get checkerboard and a shed cleared out in the mire area, but if, well, we don't have any medallions yet, and so you won't be beholden to enter the dungeon if you were to do that just now, so it's a quick 3.
Yeah, if you took the time to dive ice to get it, you might as well follow it at least a little bit. And knowing that the prize from the old man on the mountain wasn't worth much, you can kind of skip saving him with the flute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, any teammate that learns that and can tell their other one, hey, you don't need that war point so much. Oh, maybe beer gets
No.
a Wall Master in place of a Stalfos there, and that's
There's nothing worse.
in the middle of pulling up the rock, nothing he could do.
Yeah, when I first started practicing Randomizer for the co-op, there was a Wall Master in the room right before Cold Stare, and it got me 3 or 4 times, because as soon as you grab that rock, you're locked into that animation.
Yeah, at no point in Ice do you want to see that, but that sounds like the absolute worst thing. The room right before. So Moogle's doing Argus here, and yeah, you can get a double Fighter Sword spin hit, which is good for like, that's like 2 Master Sword hits. So he's going to use that strat here with some space and get this done hopefully not too long of a time. He's trying to do 2 at once, they can get away from you though.
Yeah, it's definitely faster than menuing for the hammer.
Oh yeah.
Which is my strategy, because I don't know how to do those, so.
Well, this isn't bad, you just have the charge that spin, but yeah, you're right, it is faster than going to that menu. It's actually what I did really until not too long ago. I probably was watching one of these and be like, oh yeah, okay, we can do that.
A great mop-up of Argus with that ice rod, though.
Yeah, but you can hold them there if you spam those shots with the right timing. Now that room that Homie Beer got pulled out of, he pulled something half decent, it looked like, out of the chest there. I didn't see what it was exactly.
Yeah, I was focused on the 2 boss fights, I missed it. It's
Yeah.
$50 out of the spike room, and nice.
Oh. It was, Tracker says it was half magic, so I said half decent. And we had a laugh. Yeah, it was just at the corner of my eye, so I guess that worked out.
Perfectly intentional, right?
Yeah, because he does have half magic now, so.
Mogliacci looking to follow Homemade Beer into ice with
Yeah.
Vanilla Cold Stare.
Yeah, vanilla cold stare, just like the one I did. Not sure. Well, that's the one thing. I don't know what the pool of bosses for each room is. I know that there's restrictions on a lot of them, but I've seen Argus down here. I've seen a lot of mold worms down here.
Yeah, this room's big enough. You can have pretty much anyone down here. That half magic really coming in the clutch, though.
Yeah, that was a good pickup and a good spot, just like that lamp and pod. Almost didn't even matter what boss was in here. It's done.
All right, Jula Ninja going up to the mountain.
So 1 crystal per teammate. So what just happened?
Yeah, just some money on Ether tablet.
See, I'm going to be watching Moogle Charm now just because I know about that Wall Master. It's kind of morbid, you know, but maybe I'm going to flip the switch and come back.
Okay, medallion on floating island on the mountain.
Well, that's one of the 3. Let's see if it's the right one, but peace, love, and happiness for at least the next 10 seconds.
And Ether to get into TR.
Okay. Let me see what that medallion was. Did you catch it?
No, I was waiting to see if Jula Ninja would have went right for it, then that would have been a pretty big tell.
Alright.
Alright, Moogle Charm. Good luck.
And it's another one of those things you really don't want to see,
No.
Oh, it gets it. Yeah.
It's the worst.
So when you walk into the okay, because yeah, it's a Stalfos normally, which isn't on screen to begin with. So I guess you're not going to think about what's in there at any point.
And you're so used to hearing that drop down noise because of the Stalfos that you're just like, oh, it's just, oh, never mind. By then it's too late.
Yeah, yeah. When you hear it in that wrong spot, you're already picking up the rock and.
Gain of Burna and Hookshot Cave. Having the flute out of Ice Palace, he just we'll just do this later.
You know, I was gonna say too about that medallion. Since they have that flute, you really hope it doesn't have to happen. But if you skip a medallion and it's the one you need to get in a mire for something else required, I mean, dang. So.
Oh nope, that was the one on the floating island. That's it.
Okay, all right. What a see, huh? Not too bad, except for that wall master. Still looking for a sword. Oh no, they have swords.
They got the master sword. So unless I miss them, I guess that's go.
Yeah, let's go for Team Mogliacci, and Swirly Coin's still gonna have to find that sword. Where was the master sword? Anyway,
On top of Spec Rock.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't know if I made beer or CS Tutor went up there.
Not yet. He's up in Hookshot Cave now.
Okay.
I would assume they've seen it, but maybe not. If they wouldn't have gone that way, went down to go around.
Well, 45 minutes, co-op or not, that's pretty darn good go mode.
Yeah, Beer's gonna see the coin on top, and are you gonna? Okay, nope. Gonna do Paradox first.
Yeah, and there's that big spike ball. It's like, you know, maybe it's the one thing you might like your dead rocks back. I mean,
So Mogliacci quickly following Julo Ninja up the mountain to grab his Master Sword and Ether, while Julo maps TR for their team.
So we got a little storyline coming, and there's Shovel. That's great, but we're gonna. I mean, most of y'all know what I'm going to say already. One team has silvers, one team has swords. So once this gets going a little further, you're going to see how much that means.
Yeah, because having not checked it earlier, when they just busted through, and now being in go mode, it would be surprising if Moogle decides to go for it.
The Octo Balloon, I didn't notice the other times. Octo Balloon in that one Ice Palace room, I've never seen that spawn anywhere else. I mean, granted, I've not played much Randomizer, but that'll fill up your screen a little.
Moogle went up the mountain and then just came right back down to go to Ice Palace. That's interesting. Probably hoping to hold TR to the end now.
Yeah, probably. I mean, climb up the mountain isn't too bad. It's like a minute and change, but if you can, it's like anything else. If you can cut down on the occurrences, you might as well. Bear puts the portal all the way at the jump point. I was like getting scared there.
Did they not check TR?
Oh,
they definitely did. Or maybe. What are you looking for, Bear?
Okay, Tracker says they did in fact see it, so maybe a sword? Maybe they didn't in fact see that sword on Spec Rock.
Yeah, but you could still get into TR and finish it.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to say. Write that one down, I guess, for later. Actually, write it down this time.
It could be the same thing too, of just, okay, we know we can finish this up here, let's just go mop everything in the lower world, so when we finish TR we can run over. You know, if you're gonna go into desert anyway and finish it off, then grabbing the two things out of Mire Shed makes sense too, if you're still looking for a sword.
Yeah, it's quick. Because actually, yeah, that's probably what happened. Because he didn't check checkerboard, did he? Probably not. Kind of started moving around a little.
Yeah, we'll see another difference in Randomizer. The Mimic Cave, some of those blocks have been removed, so you can get to whatever's over there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great spot for a crystal roller. That's fantastic.
So despite being much later in this match, Beer's still got to do this Desert Trinex the same way that everybody else did with that hammer.
Yeah, the first time he was here, he didn't even have the hammer, so...
Yeah, Magic's getting iffy, but I get one more shot in the magazine here. Gotta be real careful, and makes the hit.
Excellent, there you go. Good shout.
Meantime, Moogle Charm and his tutor taking down something or another. Looks like cold stare for Moogle and CS Tutor. So yeah, that's a bunch of ice palaces going down here while we're watching Trinex.
Alright, 3 quick boss kills. See Moogle Charm go in there and finish off Desert 2. TR not having a lot, but that's neither here nor there, I think.
Good old little spike on Laser Bridge. You gotta cane or cape your way through. I don't know any other way to get around that kind of thing. I wonder if you don't have that stuff.
Oh. Moogle Charm missing the mirror glitch on that block. See if he goes back in for the chest. Yeah, gonna have to.
Yeah, I do that a lot. You save a little bit of time, and you mess it up every now and then, but it's not worth not doing it if you can do it.
Yeah, and Bombos, even though not being necessary for Go mode, you'd be surprised how much you use that Bombos on like a GT climb where you know you got to kill everything in those gauntlet rooms. That Bombos will help you out quite a lot.
Yeah, the enemy counts are always the same. That's the thing. Each enemy instance is randomized, but the counts don't change regardless. It may be a room full of something very nasty, so...
Wow, Crystal Roller. That was awesome.
Just, hey, be not there for a little bit, and then be there. So I didn't catch what besides Trinex is going to be in here in TR, and it is blind. With a whole lot of room to run around in.
Yeah, the script doesn't mean much in Randomizer because blind never starts in his usual position, but doesn't make it much different. Just go in there and start whacking at him, you'll get him. Tutor remembering his silvers and picking those up.
So yeah, again, in 52 minutes, we have a blind fight in TR, but still a little dicey, because hard to damage for fireballs, and so Ninja had to pull out the blue cane, and does so, and down goes blind.
Yeah, fireballs do not care what mail you have on, but it goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning, that those little things that you can do for safeties in Randomizer are worth the extra seconds. Pulling out the cane when you have it, just use it. Don't be proud, just finish them off.
Yeah. So another Trinex going down, and quick enough that I didn't see the start of it, so that was clearly a nice fight for Moogle Charm there.
Yeah, both teams are just mopping dungeons at this point.
Rattling them off. So is there anything we haven't seen that we're going to see yet? I don't think so.
I would be shocked. TR didn't have much, so both teams will just push through that very quickly.
Yeah, it'll be a GT Big Key hunt and whatever they happen to find on the way, I suppose. The only difference is CS Tutor. We'll have to see. Okay, I was going to say, did he get the silvers? I guess he did on the way in here.
Yeah, he did, and it'll be and this is going to be very telling. If Moogle Charm checks the front at all and gets those silvers, it's going to be worth it. If they just push the back from the boss, it can make a big difference in GT later.
Yeah, one of them was in Skull. Yeah. Yellow Ninja was in Skullwood, so we'll see if Moogle comes up with it or not, because Ninja's not going back.
That skeleton fish was just giving Moogle all kinds of problems. He's trying to dash.
Just kept picking it up. Yeah, it was a good time. It wouldn't get out of the way. Hey, fishy. No, go away, fishy.
Yeah, Moogle skipping the front of Skullwoods does not look like Mogliacci is going to have silvers for the end of the game.
And that's barring a sword in GT, which can happen. There's enough checks in there, but if not, that's going to be a significant advantage for Swirly Coin Brewing.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that choice if you're in go mode and you know about it, because you're just hoping you'll find it on the way. But
yeah, especially here in Skullwoods, it's a lot of dipping in and out, transitions, runes, all that. You don't want to do it if you don't have to.
All right, Tudor having 6 crystals, racing up toward TR to finish it off. Beer getting ready to finish pod.
But I wonder though, is the bow? Oh yeah, I guess it is the same one, because I was going to say, as close as they were, you could have people with different bows. I mean, it would be across the teams, because if a team knew about both, they'd pick up both. But no, they just have the same one.
Yeah, both teams got their first bow out of the chess game in CAG.
Helmicopter is Flora's biggest enemy in here at this point, getting those bombs conveyed right back to Moogle Charm's face.
Yeah, and I don't know that there's many more worse enemies than Helma in here, because the bombs are just going to be useless. With that conveyor moving.
Plus, yeah, you lose a whole tile at the bottom of the screen you can't sit in with those spikes in there, so you'd be able to get to the mast to hammer.
I know for Armos Knights, the conveyor can really throw them off. I've had them bounce out of the screen before, and then you've had to wait for them to come back down, and you're like, well, hope I didn't just glitch the game.
Yeah, I think at probably some point in development, all these bosses were eligible for all these rooms, and they just tested and iterated until they eliminated which ones just broke the game. So we think we're pretty solid now.
Yeah, picking up on an observation in chat, it's interesting that Swirly Coin Brewing has not looked at Spec Rock to grab that Master Sword yet, and both of them have been up on the mountain. They may not know it's there.
Yeah, that was a debate we were having. We weren't sure if either of them did visualize that when we had that syncing going on or not, but I guess probably not.
Yeah, so as much as we're talking about the silvers being an issue potentially later, this could be just as large as one. They're going to do a lot of checks trying to find the sword.
Yeah, I remember mentioning that it was silvers versus swords here, but and yeah, if there is one in GT and that ends up being the one everybody finds, then it's still going to leave them a level apart. So
yeah, the difference between Master and Temperate is huge.
So like a GFE saying, you're gonna, unless you have cross-dimensional vision, you're gonna miss a thing, because otherwise walking to GT kind of basically puts it on screen if it happened to be in the light world.
Well, it could be one of those things. I know I'm looking for a sword. I haven't seen Spec Rock yet. Let me just mirror and check real quick since I'm here. But that might be wishful thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I would, but we'll see.
All right, Moogle Charm going into Hookshot Cave to potentially get his cane, but also most definitely get that Ether Medallion off the floating island.
The dead fish and the chomp. You try to dash past the chomp, you pick up the dead fish. Oh, man.
Dead fish is the most deadly enemy in the game today.
So, and as I've seen this a couple times now, and you can hear it now on Home Beer's side, this Bombus Medallion, like you were mentioning before, is becoming rather handy here, even in Eastern, just to get through this thing.
Yeah, it's a super effective weapon. If it can die, Bombos usually can take care of it, with the exception, with a few minor exceptions.
Down goes Eastern Argus Knight. Yep. For homemade beer. I think that's crystal number 6. I just got to clean up TR and hopefully find that sword.
Yeah, and Tutor's scouting that for him right now, so it'll be as quick of a clear as TR can be for them. Jewel Ninja's mopping up, having to mop up Pod and Eastern to try to get their crystals finished out as Mogliacci goes into TR.
See, and I was wondering, because homemade beer, I thought sat on point number 2 on the flute for a little bit, just a little tiny bit, and now his checking bottles is going to go ahead and fill that thing up to avert any last-minute crises.
Yep, I'm fine with that. You got plenty of cash, might as well.
Do a quick inventory, wasn't quite sure, couldn't remember what was in there, but filled up now. We're just now past the 1 hour mark. We had a essential go mode / no mode was all pretty close together, about 45 minutes, so 15 minutes to mop up the rest of the game, and GT is coming up. As soon as first person gets out of TR, we're going to play a little game here, but not just yet.
I'm fine with it. It's past midnight in the East Coast. Yeah, I was hoping Beer would actually... I pulled up the hook for that hook speed. I was hoping maybe they would just go up and check spec on the way, but nope.
Yeah, it's one way to go up there, but I think it's generally been determined that going east to up is quicker.
Yeah, it's definitely much faster, but I was hoping, we haven't looked at this. Let's just go take a peek real fast on the way, but no dice.
Well, we've cleared TR, somebody has. We know there's no swords in there, so it's like you said, there might be a quick check on the way through. I don't know if... Well, probably nobody's checked... do we have a book? Yeah, we do, so they could be checking Ether Medine as well.
No, both tablets are dead. There's nothing on them.
I'm just saying, if they don't know about the sword, and they probably don't know about the tablet either, and that gives you multiple reasons to take a mirror before you go into GT.
Nope, that's a good shout. It's a very good point. Tutor taking a death and TR having to restart from the beginning. Puts him and Beer pretty close together, but Beer's got a couple checks to make as Mogliacci continues to push through the lava area. Well, we've got a second before the end of this particular seed. If you like what you're watching, and you should, because it's a great race between great runners, why don't you go ahead and give these runners a follow. They run a multitude of games, but also the crew, Arterial and Relkin, doing the work behind the scenes with the tracker to keep me and Scupula somewhat focused on what's going on.
Yeah, this has been working out pretty well today, so shouts out, whichever it is, to everybody involved here today. There's a boss check there. I didn't see what it was, but we already know it was blind, so I'm still trying to... I'm trying to see all those little icons just so I know what they look like. But...
Yeah, that addition of the compass and Randomizer, I forgot about it in every race that I did. It was just like, oh yeah, this is a thing still.
Yeah, Ladder had a custom mode that we came up with involved boss shuffle, and we didn't have it then. It was, there's a Trinix in Thieves Town. No ice rod, too bad. You gotta come back later.
Yeah, it's a nice quality of life change.
It's always nice when items that are junk filled, have a little bit of a utility applied to them too, I think, so.
Yeah, what I was talking about earlier with that Vitreous on those spikes, when you shoot that first arrow, they don't bounce back like you normally would expect. Just about got you, Ninja.
Looks like Fire Maze actually has actual fire bars in it, at least one.
Is this even randomized?
We'll go up GT, it'll be vanilla, and we're just gonna have to sit here and question our whole life.
Oh, Gibdos and Henox is the entire gauntlet. It'll just be an endless rain of bombos.
Heard you like bottles in blue good. Everybody if they're half magic now? Yeah, they do, so. Regardless of what happens, even if they end up needing it a lot, they can, in fact, use it.
So it looks like Mogliacci is going to be the first to 7 crystals.
Yeah, this won't be too long of a blind fight here, and heck, with red mail, you can just run right into the guy if you had to, since that doesn't do as much damage as the fireballs.
Nah, got that blue cane in half magic. There's no sense of making this longer than it has to be. Just pull out the beat stick and just end it.
That lag, though. Can't have that. Another heart, though, to simplify your life on the way up to GT. So yeah, 7 crystals. We're going to GT, folks. 1 to 21, do the thing. 22. 22, that's right.
Alright, let's see the numbers. What do you guys got?
See an empty bottle in Mimic Cave. Unfortunately, it's going to sit like that because, well, maybe not, because we got powder and a net, so that's nice. It's going to go with the 7. Captain picked up 7. A couple people picked up 7. Let's go. I got to find something that's not done. 4. Let's do that.
I normally do 2, but I had 2 the other day, so I'm going to go with my other one, 11.
Now, is the 4 going to be in Compass Room or going to be in Stalfos Room? We'll see. But...
Compass Room. Alright, here we go. Gonna go left? Okay.
Going left. When I said Stalfos Room, I was expecting the Hope Room first, but you do you, boo-boo.
That chain chomp got real close.
Yep. Little key, mushroom. That's gonna rot in the pocket. Little key, big sword.
Oh, that could be huge.
Yeah, and that's gonna generally time-wise with these runner skills, abilities, and strats, it's gonna negate the. I think it's gonna negate the silver advantage, even if they find that one on. Spec Rock to get into GT on time. Swirly coin.
Yeah, I would agree.
And if they don't, I'm sure they're going to come up with, what would be their master sword there. But
yeah, Tutor following suit and going left. Be very happy to find that. They're going to feel like they've been bailed out too. Alright. 8. 9.
Number 9. Big key, Compass Room. Should have been number 4 or 3, but that's alright.
Yeah, no, yeah, if they would have went Hope and then continued right, it'd have been 4.
Then they wouldn't have a Tempered Sword either. Come to think of it, so that was a real interesting choice by Mogliacci.
Red Bomb Guards, no thank you.
Was there a key in Hope Room?
There was.
Okay, yeah, so that definitely would have sent him over.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. I heard you like bombos, so I put some bombos in your bombos.
Now, see, this is the funny part. There's those, what is this, bouncing spikes down here normally, and they don't apply to opening the door normally, but I guess they do here. Whatever the spikes happen to be turned into. So there's a GT opening. Come on, Beer. I don't think we're going to see it now with the hook shot out.
No, yeah, Tutor would have told him about the sword and left side. That
Tutor's already in there. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that's a big key. They do have that Master Sword. That's going to be the way it shakes out.
Yep. All 4 runners in GT this close together. It's going to be a real good run at the end. The Molder and 2 boss could be very interesting too.
Yeah, a couple falls there and this thing changes. But if Swirly can get their good Master Sword strats on phase 1, 2 again and down, then anything can happen. Especially considering that Eula Ninja is still... He's the furthest behind of all 4 runners as well, so...
No, he's a little bit ahead of Beer.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, that's right. You still got to get that key.
Alright, so Landmo and Landmo 2, we haven't seen them yet, so this makes sense. This could be another fight, though, that those silvers play a role.
Yeah, half magic fire rod usually is a nice choice to have. Enough refills on the way up to deal with torches and whatnot. So, there's the key for homemade beer, and up he goes.
Yeah, Jewel Ninja decided to open a couple more chests that let Beer get a little bit closer.
You know, so it's something I like to do a lot. I don't really know what could be in a chest at this point that would be helpful, though. Crystal roller here on Torch 2, replacing the fire bar. Wow.
Just camping that one torch.
I guess it's just roller. I think crystal roller is the fact that there's a crystal in that one room. Crystal switch, but... Crystals can be sharp.
Beer snuck ahead of Jewel Ninja now by about a room.
He must have got hung up somewhere. And Homie Beer used a cane to get through that cannonball room. And it does lag a little, but you don't have a cape, you don't have a choice, or you can just walk it. But so yeah, Helmasaur 2, the grounded variety.
Yeah, of course it's Helma and Mulder too. Mogliacci deciding not to check any chests on the way up. We know that's a good thing, but maybe, I don't know, if you're feeling like you're close, with tempered, silvers aren't as appealing.
And you're just as liable to fall off with a Helmasaur here. You're trying to get into that mask there, but you don't get bounced as far as Moldworm does, but a couple arrows from the side. Being slightly stubborn, but gets them down.
Yeah, Beer on that Landmo too, just whipping out the silvers, and 1, 2, 3, and off you go.
And there's the cape we were looking for. So actually, that cape is not the worst thing to find here. I mean, it's not going to matter as much for...
Oh, Tutor.
Oh, you took a fall. Yeah, that's no good. If Swirly Coin opens that validation chest, that cane can help with some stress here for Ganon. Cape, I mean.
Oh, most definitely, especially on Master Sword. If you've got the blue potions to spare, just abuse that cape.
Yeah, so hopefully they open out. It's going to be kind of, I think, their last real chance here to get something good out of a box.
Zaga from Moogle Charm.
Homie Bear a pretty good time with torches too there, but it's a good illustration of how Randomizer can just mess up your routine. Like even as on Torches 2 you see here, or 3 I guess it is. 2. 1, 2. That's right. I meant 1. I can count.
Yeah, once again, Silver's paying advantage for Tudor being able to put down Helmet with one shot as opposed to having to try to slash him.
And Beer unfortunately takes a fall. It's
yeah, and when you fall on Moldorm 2 or Helmet 2 in this case, you just feel like that's what costs you. Like, you're just waiting for it. Yep, that's what cost me the race. It feels bad every time.
And it's worth noting, yeah, we're on a 10-minute delay, so the runners themselves know what happened here, but as they were running it, they could not have known how close they were to each other, so... I do believe both sides took some different falls in different places across the seed, so... This Tempered Sword is making Ganon life quite nice. You're just getting now told about the arrows in Skull Woods. Probably not thrilled, but not overly concerned either at this stage.
Had they not have found Tempered Sword, that would have felt pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
It would have made you sweat. Having Tempered, you're like, oh, okay, whatever. Silver's definitely helped with the climb on a few, like with Landmo and Helma, but not enough to make a dramatic difference. Right. 2 down for Julo. He's on the way to Ganon. Homing Vera probably has one more shot left to finish off Aga. Yeah.
And Moogle with a couple of misses here, but I think is pretty close to 12 here. There it is.
There it is. Right as Tudor hits phase 3.
So yeah, we're going to be handing them out in bunches, but get some GGs in chat for your Moogle Charm.
Yeah, not every day you get all 4 runners and gain it essentially at the same time. That's a good run.
Yeah, Moogle mashed the timer and reset it, but put it in an official time of 1:16:35 for his part. I made Beer here just trying to get through phase 1 of that Master Sword. Some nice placement from Ganon here. You can get a few level 3 slashes in when or spins, I guess they are. But
and down goes Ganon for Tudor.
Rapid fire GGs.
Yeah, just spam them. You'll get them all eventually.
Gonna cross that bridge and put in an official time of 1:17:26. That's about, let's see, 51 seconds apart for first finisher on each team now.
Yeah, for co-op mode, it's the average of the runner's time, so...
Yeah, Honey Beer's got some work to do, but something happens to Jula Ninja here, things could change. That's all it takes. But down goes Ganon, number 3 for the remainder of Team Mogliacci. Give it 10 seconds or so.
Beer just misses that triple with Silvers. That was really close.
Yeah, that I don't know if that would have finished Ganon or not, but regardless, Julio puts in a time of 1:18:25, so I'm not going to try to do the math. That is going to put them in the win position here. for this match in week 7, last week of the league here. A little bit locked up, but Homemade Beer is defeated Gannon. Is going to cross his 3x1 bridge as well with an official race time.gg time of 1:18:52. Everybody's keeping their heads up on this one. This was a real good, real close race. We'll see who we can get in here to talk about it.
Yeah, overall, that was an execution masterpiece. Like, holy cats! If you wanna see how the top runners do it, just go back and rewatch this one because that was execution personified.
So we got Team Mogliacci in here. GG's.
GG's.
Yeah, guys, by averages were about, I don't know, a minute apart, something like that. Nothing too significant at all, and a lot of wrenches being thrown everybody's way as we're now joined by Homemade Beer and is it here?
Hi.
Is Tudor coming? Do we know?
Yo, GG. GG's. I don't know. Probably.
Okay. Well, anyway, so you know now how close this thing was by the end. And
yeah.
You also know
we felt behind the entire time, basically.
Well, yeah. And that, as you know, from running as much rando as you do, you're going to make some skips. Now, one of the things that... Wait, what? Did you get the Spec Rock Master Sword?
So
that was us.
Yeah, so what happened basically was when we got to ice and found the lamp in TR and pod a little bit before that even, we were kind of like we only need the TR medallion for go mode, right? We already knew that, so... as soon as I found the flute, I was like, okay, I'll go up Death Mountain once I finish ice, and then I'll go straight to TR and just check the medallion so that we know if we're in go mode. It's like, or know what to look for rather. It's like, oh look, there's ether for TR, and then after I did Hookshot Cave and I mirrored, I'm like, oh, there's ether on the thing, and then we were like, well, crap, we need the sword.
Yeah, and everybody found a DM room sword, which kind of did throw things off because they also Team Mogliacci found the one in around Spec Rock right outside. So
yeah, that would have been huge because like there was no reason to ever go there for us.
Yeah,
like, you didn't need to do Hera. You didn't need to check any of that area of the entire map.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forget why they were up there anyway. It's probably just part of a standard route, but they did find it. Now the other thing with that is, Beer and Tudor, you didn't have, or you did have silvers. They didn't.
Yeah.
And they could have easily taken a full right and found a big key and not found the sword. So that would have changed things too. I mean, there was a little bit of everything in here. Execution, randoing, just the
There was a
Randomizer.
key in Hope Room High.
Yeah.
I even opened the middle door on accident. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, well... So yeah, it was anxious over here. We had to see who was going to do what exactly here, even up into and through GT, especially that Helmosaur up top. That was scary.
Yeah, the bombs kept bouncing off him and like going right back at me, and then it just blew me off. So that was fun.
Well, Moogle Charm had to deal with that, but we knew why because he had a conveyor floor there in Skullwoods, bringing him back into his face. But
oh, that was really nice because I found silvers before that fight, so that fight was really free, actually.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean,
just checked one too many things, Did like checkerboard cave, mimic cave, stuff like that we didn't need to do. But I mean,
we did back of Thieves Town. We did Mimic Cave. We did all kinds of stupid stuff this season.
Yeah, we full cleared everything, but except for dipping mire and doing West Death Mountain, basically. So.
Yeah, collection rates are all pretty low because co-op, and they're not too far apart from each other from the looks of things here. It's just, I think it's like the kind of seed where you make one of these significant pickups or you don't, and everything changes. Whether that's both bows, one bow, the other bow, because they were both available pretty close to each other. The swords. So.
Yeah, the routing once you find the mirror is actually pretty clean. for a co-op, not for like just
Mhm.
regular playing. Because going and after I found the mirror, I'm like, okay, well, let me go check. Let me get the crap out of Hype Cave, that like the safeties, and then I'll go towards CAC, check Bombos, check K45, and then check the bat, since we had that powder. And of course, that leads you into Smith Chain, which wastes all the time in the world. So.
Mhm. Yeah,
We did that too.
Yep.
I kind of halfway looked at it because it was all different points, but it didn't look like there was anything good on the whole thing.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a story of that sword, honestly. Like, you can look at the times as close as they are. Like, I mean, yeah, there's enough time save with having tempered or master sword. Well, a master sword, I guess, for most of the season.
I actually didn't get my master sword till much later.
Oh,
I just
oh,
started
damn it.
once we realized we were in go mode. I just started clearing stuff. I was like, well, I'll try and get it later.
Yeah.
Like I can do it on the way to TR or something. And the video fight took a while, and then I got into ice and I checked the compass room, got my flute, and was like, okay, so it's nice to have this flute. And then I got wall mastered, and I was like, oh god.
Yeah, same.
Well, so I was at the front of Ice Palace, and I'm like, well, I got the flute. This is actually a great time to go get that sword. So I ended up leaving Ice Palace, activating my flute, grabbed the sword, filled up my potion, and then went back into Ice Palace.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it made things a little bit easier, but I was on Fighter Sword for quite some time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Wallmaster in place of the Stalfos, which I mentioned, it's just two enemies you can't see when you come in the room anyway, so you have no reason to suspect anything. Everybody picked up that rock and had a good time.
Yeah, the pre-cold stare room, I literally waited probably 10 seconds, hoping that if it was going to come, it'd come in that time. Nothing showed up, so I ended up going down to the boss.
Yeah, Taylor here mentioned had a seed, an animizer seed that happened once, and that's an unfortunate spot to have that happen.
Did you guys grab the cape?
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, that was nice.
Tutor got flippers. Where were
room
flippers?
after that was ugly.
Oh, I forgot to use it in that room because I was a dumbass.
You know what? I actually did not notice flippers till you just said it.
Yeah, flippers were on Pyramid Ledge, I believe.
Oh.
No, Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, Pyramid Fairy. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Forgot. Yeah, but it was interesting because look at that menu time. That's awful.
Mine was the same. Because I was on Fighter Sword Argus, and like I kept missing stuff, and I was pausing. It was ugly.
Yeah. I didn't Fighter Sword Argus, or I didn't pause during that, and it was still that high. But yeah, so it was funny because the seed was actually like really easy as far as execution and play, from like based on some of the seeds I've seen this week. So I was hoping it would be just a little more challenging, but it was still a fun seed.
Yeah, it looked that way. I mean, we can always say it's fun from here. It's hard to say if the runners tend to agree, but it was a good test for sure, and you see that in the results. It was a good match.
Yeah, it wasn't a very challenging seed in terms of execution. So.
Well, I mean,
and I did die that one time. So what am I saying, right? I died. I think I died walking into Mini Moldarm Cave because I got hit by the High Nox, and then the Zero bombed me like as I was trying to blow open the entrance.
Oh man, I did the exact same thing. I didn't die because I was like really carefully traversing the overworld map after that.
Yeah. So it would have been nice to win one here, and now we're we got to worry about seeding a little bit more, I think, depending on how other teams do.
Both your teams have another match, or are you done?
No, this
is it.
Okay, so we'll have to do the math on that and check ALTTPR League.
Yeah, we're basically at a point. I mean, we were both already in playoffs, and this match was for seeding. The main thing was basically figuring out. Now we gotta see who wins or loses their next matches to figure out who we end up playing in playoffs at this point.
Okay, so CS Tutor's kind of in the hallway there. Are we gonna? Does he know he can move, or?
Oh yeah, cool.
If you want to go talk to him, bring him up. We'll be here, but I don't like moving people if I don't know what's going on. So I gotta go see here. So joined now by CS Tutor of where'd it go? I lost it. Team Swirly and Brewing. GG's to you.
GG.
So yeah, we kind of went over a lot of the things. Your team had silvers. Your shortest sword. There's one on Spec Rock actually. Probably you talked about that with Homemade Beer, but
Actually, no, I didn't know that.
you know, that's what happened there. But it was pointed out that there was like no other.
Wait, did you get that sword?
No, we didn't know that. We never did West Death Mountain, remember, because we got the mitts, and then when I got the flute, I checked TR. I went straight to TR to check
Okay.
what the medallion was, and then when we saw Ether on Floating Island, there was no reason to ever go to West Death Mountain for literally any reason.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't looking at race time. Sometimes the runners talk in the 10 minutes after, but no. Yeah, that's where it was. But somebody pointed out, yeah, there was like no reason to be up there, really, unless you just happened to go that way for something. So
Yeah, exactly.
But the other team didn't have silvers either, so anything could have happened. It was close, as you see.
Yeah, it was a close match, which is cool. It's always fun to have close matches in these, especially for the viewers, and it sounds like everyone was on Ganon at the same time, which is pretty cool, except for me.
No,
I'm too slow.
Close enough. Yeah, we had GT climbs to watch. We had to try to figure out, what the enemies got turned into. Had a roller at Torches 1. That was entertaining. But Tutor, any thoughts on the seed from you?
The seed was okay. What checks were done? I mean,
They did everything. They did everything we did in Death Mountain and Spec Rock, basically.
But I mean, I didn't know that you had done checks behind my back, I guess.
No, I just checked Checkerboard and Meyer Shed. I told you about that.
Oh my god. I told you that flute was no good on this seed. Like, what?
Well, I was there to do desert, so.
I guess, but I mean, I wouldn't. I told you that the flute was no good on the seed. Like,
well,
I was just hoping that you were just gonna do that. I mean, just go straight to desert, just finish that off. Like, so did you just leave after Spiral? I'm sorry, like, because I don't even know what happened exactly. Like, so you found Ether.
Yeah, I found Ether, did Paradox, and then I left and did the desert stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't do like Spiral Cave or anything else.
Yeah, the Meyer Shed checks on the way to desert. That was something that Talon pointed out. I mean, they're looking for offense at that point anyway, so it could have easily been in there. It's in and out. It's just...
It was on the top of Spec Cave?
Yeah.
Okay. I could have went that way. Yeah, I could have went that way, actually, because we hadn't gone... I didn't know that was not done at all. But I could have just went that way just because, like, instead of going through Paradox, even though it's slightly slower that way. And just checked it to see if there was anything up there. But... Alright, the sea was fine, though, like, as it is. It's kind of silly to do catfish into K45, I guess, but that's what the sea chose.
Yeah, that was kind of the dumbest part, but the routing worked out in a way that since you went to Potty's turn, and then I went the other way, so we still found it pretty quickly. But
yeah, a lot of us are runners here. We know, close race is fun for viewers, but it doesn't always. It really doesn't feel good when you're on the bottom side of it. So I understand, but there were so many things that could have changed on both sides. By no means was any runner's run clean. I mean, it was good as you see the times, but there were falls, there were deaths, there was all kind of stuff that could have swung things either which way. So
Yeah.
Yeah, at seed like this, it's as close as it can be. You know, it was a very jetty seed. It felt like.
mm-hmm. Yeah, we were like go -2 at a half an hour. You go mode 45 minutes. So
Yeah.
well, no mode.
Well,
go
we
for,
didn't have a sword. That was the thing.
Yeah, but like we discussed here, you all pretty much check the same stuff anyway. So so yeah, if there's nothing else, we're gonna get toward wrapping this thing up. It's about 1:45 here on the East Coast. Thanks for everybody for hanging out with us here tonight. Hope you enjoyed the run.
Yeah, thanks for putting on the stream, and thanks for comms trackers, and Mogliacci will get you next time.
We could meet the playoffs.
We
First
could.
round, it's possible.
First round? Oh, is it?
It's possible, I think. It looks like you guys will be 5 through 7, and I think we're in the 1 through 3 spot potentially, depending on what happens in the other.
You just want
stuff,
you want Dante to lose, is what you're saying?
No, I'm just. We have the ability to be anywhere between 1 and 3. I'm not calling anybody out.
Yep. Okay.
I have no problem calling you out again, though. That'd be fun.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it.
Yeah, let me know when that happens so we can calm that race too.
So I'm going to throw up a schedule link here in Twitch chat. Have a look. That includes the foreign language channels. It's the one I have. But we have a handful of these. If you like what you saw here tonight, this Randomizer business going on in SpeedGaming 4 and 5 tomorrow at 3:10, 4:10, and 8:10. Take your pick. And also one at 9:10. It's P-Train GFE, who I know has been hanging out and chat with us here tonight. P-Train, and I'm not sure how the notation goes. I think it's P-Train GFE versus Freddy and Fant. That's on SpeedGaming 6 at 9:10 tomorrow night. So we got that going on. We have SG Live going on, which is the custom hard item pool. Got a couple matches for that tomorrow. It's all there on the link. Have a look. Talon, anything?
No, you did great. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for the runners. It's a really good race. Anytime you have all 4 runners in Ganon at the same time, you can't really complain about it. So that'll do it for us.
Yep. GG's everybody. Thank you to Artero and Relkin doing the tracking, fighting the everything, and we'll see you tomorrow.